Irish market is tech dominated market.
Yeah.
If you would go back, 70% of the jobs, 70-60, I'm not quoting the exact figure, but a large dominated factors are jobs in the technology. Graduate roles is quite less. And the other people have to go back and they have to generate their own demand with startups and small and medium enterprise. So I would say that my recommendation is, if you have 3+ years of experience, then think of coming to Ireland. If your risk appetite is good and you're happy to struggle, look forward for graduate roles mainly, and you are happy to work in startups, then you are freshers, then you can come back. But my recommendation is to having at least 3 years of experience in the relative domain.
So hey guys, before we begin, I just want to let you know that this is the second podcast. The first podcast was released 2 days ago and you can find the link up there. You can watch that podcast, then you will understand the rhythm of this podcast. In the first podcast, we have discussed about the fresher life in Ireland. What is the best industry to study in Ireland, and does colleges make a difference if you are studying in Ireland? So in this podcast, we will be discussing more such topics. So stay tuned till the end. My name is Pranav, and if you are watching this podcast for the very first time, I stay in Ireland. I make vlogs in Ireland. I make informative videos about Ireland, and I have also started my career in podcasting. I don't know how it will go, but I will be strong enough. And if you are new to this channel, you can subscribe to this channel. And if you like this podcast, do comment on what all topics do you want to listen podcast on. I will definitely work on that. And in this podcast, we have a special guest known as Raghav Dixit. Raghav Dixit helps students with career guidance, CV building, career progression, and any other issue or job related things in Ireland. He's also a project manager in one of the big fours. So let's begin with today's podcast.
Now that you said like IIT, IIM and stuff like that, so this is something that we write in the CVs. We want to show the best CVs. Like if I'm working in Google, if I did an internship as well, I want to write Google because it is getting experience, and like people see, okay, he's working in Google. So in that scenario, what is the CV building? So like how exactly are people, what are like some key keywords or something like that we need to put into the CVs that it doesn't get rejected and we at least get the CV selected?
So just for your podcast, I'll give you a trade secret.
Okay. This is just for our podcast, guys. Do subscribe.
Okay. So whenever you're writing a CV, and most people try to show the CV like this, a compilation of their skills, knowledge, and experience. Is that CV is? Unfortunately not. Yeah. Okay. A CV is like your name. Your name is Pranav.
Yeah.
How many times you use your name? Very rare. And how many times others use your name? Very much. Your CV is like your name. Okay. It is used by other people. It should always be oriented from the other's perspective. Okay. It should not be taken as a compilation of your knowledge, skills, and experience. It should be something how much value you can create for your employers. That's the only purpose. I'll give you a formula. If you want to write a CV, I'll give you a formula. Okay. Responsibilities plus results is equal to impact. It is the impact that creates the most of the things in the form of mind of people. So you show your responsibilities of what has been your responsibilities. Then you show that what has been the results of your responsibilities. And then you show that this is an impact that you have created. Okay. Let's take an example. Which example you want to take? Digital marketing, data, testing, or anything?
Well, my cameraman there is from data. He'll be really excited. Like something around the line of data analyst.
Line of data. Okay. So let's take a data analyst roles. Yeah. Okay. Suppose your friend Vinay. Yeah. Okay. His name is not Vinay, but
just for the let's go with the Vinay thing.
Okay. So Vinay wants to get into a data market. Okay, and he's writing the CV. Okay, he's doing the data mining. He's using all the data things, and then he's putting that into writing the queries, and then he's doing the visualization. So his responsibilities is to collect the data, process the data, do the EDAs, and make sure that he's got the visualization done. So that is the responsibilities. What are the results? The results are something that he has given. He has made some automations in the visualization. Okay, and that automation has increased accuracy, and it has increased the engagement of the viewers. So that is a result. What is the impact? Impact is that because of the lucidity of his visualization, the management has been able to cut down that decision-making time based on this report by 30%. Okay. Now you understand that I am the managerial role, I am the hiring manager, and I'm going to get that. Okay. So I understand two things from this. First, this guy knows his job, and second thing, I have a clear idea how this guy is useful to me. Okay. So you always make the purpose of something that how you could be made useful. Either you can solve the current problems, or you can have them avoided their future problems. That is how the CV needs to be built up.
That's true. Like it's result and responsibilities. Responsibilities and results.
Responsibilities plus results is equal to impact.
So now let's talk about, so this is the CV building that you said, the experience people are getting, that's how they get the job and stuff. Are there any specific issues where the visas that they apply for, maybe let's say for the journal skill or critical skill visa, or maybe if they're applying for the island study visa, are there any common mistakes that people tend to do by not knowing it, that their visa can get rejected?
Okay, so I'll just try to correct you here, and for everyone, because this is one of the famous misconception over here. Visa, different thing. Stamp, different thing. Work permit, different thing. Okay. Visa is something when you apply before coming to Ireland. Once you come to Ireland, there is no visa here. Okay. Once you come to Ireland, it is always stamp. Okay. So stamp is a kind of a permission that is dependent on something. When you study here, you get a stamp too, which is dependent on your studies. What you are talking about, I understand, is a work permit. Work permit is a condition. When it gets approved, it results into a work permit related stamp, which is stamp 1. Okay. Now your question is something that what people can do, people...
Like how can they avoid the rejections? Because I have heard some people, so like just for example, I'll let you know, like journal skill visa, journal skill stamp that we talk about. So there's a labor market test that some of the people didn't know, and one of my friend, he got his visa rejected because of that, because that wasn't done properly. So is there anything a person himself should be aware about, and letting know that okay, these are the basic documents that we need and do not need to skip by chance to get it like rejected? Any common mistakes that people do?
So the common mistakes that I would like to say is that there are few things. One has to be very clear idea about what are critical skill and what are not critical skill. Okay. By the way, there is no list of skills which is called as general. It is a critical skill occupation list. You can go back to the site of DET, and that is a list of all the list of critical skills. And there is another list which is called as ineligible list of occupations. For example, people who are doing the administrative work, people who are doing the sales work in property or maybe real estates, or any kind of people who are doing in general and retail stores and any kind of thing. So basic, or people who are working in customer service. Okay, people who are working as a receptionist, or there are, so there are these all things comes as a ineligible list of occupations. Government does not give any kind of work permit for that. So sometimes what happens, people's experience work in very much into gray area. For example, a person is working in HR, human resources, and his job is HR generalist. The way HR generalist jobs are, it can come under HR administration, which will be an ineligible list of occupations. HR generalist role may also come into a general work permit, because that skills in HR may not be admin role, and she could be doing something HR business partner or learning and development, which could come into general work permit as well. So one need to have a very clear idea what they are doing and what they are not doing, and they need to refer to these skills very categorically. And if they are not sure about that, better not to apply, and take a help from immigration consultant, because this is very crucial. You get the work permit rejected, it is going to have a long-term impact.
That's rightly said over there. And so like I have experienced this. So I came in 2019. So like since 2019 till to 2023 that we are in right now, I have seen a drastic change in the living expenses in Ireland.
Oh my goodness.
It is like fortune.
Oh
it's like I'm not earning this much, how much I'm paying just to sleep in a shared bed somewhere. So like this budget, like what's an ideal budget now for a student who's planning to come here? Like study wise, let's say the study comes in within 7 to 12 lakh or 15 lakh, that's the study. But like what's the ideal budget overall that a person should be ready to come to Ireland now?
Well, I would say that I will go back with the guidelines, because I would not like to give my personal opinion over here, because it's very subjective. But as per government guidelines, you need to have 10,000 euros per year for expenses for your non-academic fee, your living expenses, your expenses for your groceries and all other things. And I would say that somewhere down the line they are realistic.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would say that people who are especially living in Dublin, they may even cross that.
Yeah.
Because if you say 10,000 euros per year, and depending upon where are you living, there are people who can't even get one room in even 800-900 euros. Sometimes they don't get it. So living expenses have been drastically, and I have been saying a lot of things that everywhere else, if you see that last 3 years has been extremely drastic in terms of inflation. No matter what the economy says, no matter what different reports says, but the ground reality that inflation has been massive over in the last 3 years, after COVID especially. You see the energy prices, you see the gas prices, you see the labor prices. I was asking a plumber to come to my home and he was charging 120 euros per hour. And the doctor charges 60 euros.
At that time, I would like go on YouTube and check how to exactly do the plumbing job because I'm like, I can do it myself.
And these plumbers, tilers and all those things are quite rich people, by the way.
Oh yeah, they are indeed.
So, by the way, I'm not promoting that people should come and do the plumbing job. It's an ineligible list of occupation.
Oh yeah, that should be in the mind for sure.